I ran out of tokens. I mean, I re-upped twice. I went through them like that in a week. And there's constant bugs that just have to get fixed. And it's getting so frustrating and annoying. I'm riding on these 5 free tokens every day. And they get burnt super quick. And then I got to wait the next day. Because if you don't use them, you lose them. But I think I found a way to work out the bugs without burning through all my lovable tokens. Let's get into it. So I'm still completely new to this and I'm learning a ton. And as I'm learning, I found out that there are ways to kind of get around this. Now, the first thing that we're gonna want to do is connect our application to GitHub. So this is my application that I've been working on for a while, and I'm trying to get it to a good point. And it's just, like I said, we're burning through tokens here. So there's this little icon right here on the top. It looks like a cat. And this is where we're actually going to connect our application to GitHub. And GitHub is basically a repository to take all of the files that Lovable is creating and it hosts them on a separate website. And what's really cool about putting them on GitHub is it opens a lot of different ways that you can now manipulate, edit, and change the code. And all of that ends up talking to Lovable along with a bunch of other applications. So let's connect GitHub and let's get this going. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to click on Connect GitHub. It's going to say connect your project. So we're going to connect the project right here. You can see I already have my organization set up because I did this with a previous project. So we're going to click on the organization. It's going to say confirm transfer to set up a two-way sync. And we're going to say, yes, let's go. Transfer anyway. This means the project will now live on your GitHub. Oh, there we go. Okay. Project connected. Connect your project to your GitHub organization in two-way sync. Awesome. All right, so now we're officially on GitHub. Let's go view it on GitHub. All right, so now we're in GitHub and you can see it's a totally free account. So if you haven't set it up, just set it up. It's super easy. But now it has all of the files that are controlling my CRM that I made. And I love it has all the notes and all the information here. How can I edit this code? Like, this is cool. Like, it gave like a whole thing here. So pretty awesome. Now we're going to take this code and we're going to do something really, really cool with it. Here we go. All right, let's go to cursor.com now. And this is going to be really awesome. So we're starting from scratch. So let's download this. I have a Mac. We're going to download this and install it. All right, Cursor's installed. So we're just going to sign up. Click sign up. I'm going to continue with Google. All right, now we've got Cursor installed and I signed in, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this is. So let's just click continue. Customize your Cursor experience. We are going to do IDE is just code. So let's do let's do midnight. What's the agent layout? I think this is just talking. So let's do the code layout and then we'll figure that out later. So let's continue. Welcome to Cursor. Okay, continue. And here we go. All right. Now, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to clone repo. All right. So let's clone repo. And this is because you see right here, it says clone from GitHub. This is where we synced the project. So we're going to clone from GitHub. It says the extension GitHub wants to sign in using GitHub. We're going to say allow. Continue to GitHub. Yup. Continue. And new personal token access. Yup. Guys, I'm just going through this. So if this is the first time you're doing it, you're probably experiencing the same thing. So this is what we're doing. Personal access tokens. Make sure you copy this. Okay, copy. I probably got to blur that out. Go back to cursor, and then we're going to GitHub personal access token. Right, so let's paste it there, and then press enter. Bam. All right, not too bad. So just click on clone repo again right over here. So we're going to click clone repo. And then since I've already connected it, it's going to say clone from GitHub. And then these are my two projects right here. So we're going to do the simple CRM. And then let's create a folder. I've got so many folders. We're going to call this, let's see, cursor projects. I wonder if I could go into there. Okay, and then we're gonna say simple CRM. And you can do whatever one you want. So we're gonna create that, and then we're gonna select as a repository destination. So now it's gonna take all the files from the repository, it's gonna put them on my computer, and we're gonna see how that works. So now I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff. Would you like to clone? Yes, I would. Cursor would like to access. Yep, allow it. And there we go. That was pretty awesome. And now we have all the files right here. Sweet. Okay, let's move on to the next step. All right, so for this one, we're going to head over to ChatGPT, and I'm going to start a new chat, and I'm going to just ask it to give me a prompt. And I'm going to say, I need a prompt for cursor to go through all the files on my application, debug them, and refactor them so that I am starting from a clean slate. We're going to hit go. It says, here's a solid cursor AI prompt that you can paste directly into your session to have it audit, debug, and refactor your entire app for clean, production-ready base. It works best if your project is already open in Cursor's workspace. And it is. So let's copy the code. Bloop. Let's see. You're an expert full stack engineer. Your task, go through every file, blah, 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 blah. Before editing, analyze the project folder and dependencies. Goal, deliver a production-ready clean, maintainable code base. Awesome. Would you like me to tailor this for a specific? No, leave me alone. All right, so now let's go back to cursor. And then we're going to go here. So we have auto agent, but we can do, I heard this one's awesome, Composer 1. We also have a bunch here, and you can add different ones. And then we have planning and asking. So let me click plan before anything. I'll use Composer 1, and I'm going to paste that. And I just want to see, because, sometimes ChatGPT is weird. So I'm going to paste it into the plan mode. And as I put it in the plan mode, I want to make sure that it comes up with a plan itself, because I'm learning, and I'm going to do another video on this, that when we start getting into this and creating applications, you really got to treat it as if you're a project manager, not a developer, not anything else. Like, you have to kind of build this out. So we're on the free plan, so let's go ahead. Let me close this because I don't want it to think it's that file. And then we're gonna okay, and just let it do what it does. Cursor Pro is required. Can I do auto? Maybe if I do auto, it'll change it. Try again. Yeah. All right. So auto does it. So I guess you can't, unless you're on a pro plan, you can't pick which one you want to do. But on the other free tier, just click auto, and then it'll do its thing. So let this thing run, and then we'll continue from there. So now you can see that this has created a plan.md file, plan as it goes. You got code refactor and cleanup. So this is everything. It looked through the code, and this is what it's going to do. Issues identified, console log debug statements, duplicate unused files, yes, inconsistent import patterns, TypeScript, missing file documentation, error handling, and then it comes up with the plan. Phase 1, cleanup. Phase 2, let's import standardization. Phase 3, console log cleanup, and it goes on. And it's just really, really awesome, because just that one prompt made this thing go into an entire debug mode, which is what I needed, because this would just keep costing me more and more tokens on the Lovable front. So we transferred it over. We have it here. Let's build this out. And then we're going to add a feature to see it function live. So I'm going to click build, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so now it did all the debugging, and I want to view it locally, but it's not very clear on how to do that. So I actually just went into the agent again, and I went into ask mode, which is down here. You have agent, plan mode, and ask mode. And I just asked it. I said, how do I preview the site to test it out? And then it gave me a whole bunch of stuff where if you're not a programmer, it's going to look like a whole different language to you. So then I asked it if it could just set it up for me. And then it said it's not in agent mode. And then it gave me a whole bunch of other information here. And then it said, should I create the example template now, or do you want me to switch to agent mode so I can run the commands? That's this right here. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to go to agent mode, and we're going to say, run the commands so that I can preview the site locally. Enter. And let's see what this does. I'm pretty sure it's going to send me a bunch of prompts, a bunch of things that I need to click OK to. Yep, run. And it's probably going to keep on doing that a bajillion times. I don't know how. I'm sure there's a way that I can just let it go. Let's see. Allow list to echo list. Let me, if I click that. Yeah, in this way. And then it just does everything down. Awesome. So that helps speed up some time. I'm just going to keep allowing it because it's got a whole list, and I'm just going to keep allowing that. And as I continue to do this, we're going to see what the local one looks like. All right. So you can see here, Cursor did a whole bunch of stuff, and I love it because it actually accesses terminal and can run all of these commands for you on your local machine, which is pretty sick. So it's done. All right, let's go. Ready? Moment of truth. 1, 2, 3, boom. Localhost. There it is. This is the front end, which I'm completely getting rid of this, but let's sign in. Something simple. Log in. All right, here it is. So now we have everything here. It's loading live. It's got everything that I need. It's sweet. All right. So now let's add something to this, just to make sure, because everything that we just did was all in the back end. It was debugging, refactoring, was making sure everything is right. So we have a fresh file. We have a fresh new development environment, and we're testing this out. And let's see if we can add a feature. So the feature that I want to add is something simple. I want to get rid of this emails tab. I don't think I need this. So we're going to get rid of this and all of these things. So let's go into Cursor, and we're going to say, remove the email tab on the left side of the navigation. Boom. Let's see, because I'm not on the pro version, so it's automatically choosing. And I think because this is Cursor, it's using this new agent that I was talking about, the Composer 2.0 or something. I don't know what it's called, but let's check this out. So it says, look at that. I don't even have to email it. Return 404. So let's go back home, go to the dashboard. It already got rid of it. That's awesome. So simple stuff, easy to do. You see the updates right here. Now, this is the cool part. Oh, error. Let's see what happened there. Oh, it fixed it. Okay. Oh, I think it got rid of everything. It was supposed to say add emails here, but it got rid of it. That's fine, because I don't want the email functionality on here anymore. All right. Is it still working? Let's see. Yeah, it's still doing stuff. Okay. Let it keep doing its thing. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this, and because it's editing locally, we want to bring all of the files back to GitHub. And once we bring it back to GitHub, we're going to basically do whatever we want from there. So let's do that. Now let's go back to ask, and I'm going to say, okay, how can I recommit this back to GitHub? Now I like the fact that I can ask it right here. I could go to Google and find out. I could search the internet, watch a bunch of videos, and see what they're going to say and how to do it. And I'm sure they have some really great methods. But I just like the convenience of having it right here. And you can see this little area that says we've used 66.2% of context used. That just means we've used a lot of context, I guess. like it's going to cap out at some point, and then you have to start a new chat and things like that. So keep an eye on that. But let's do this. I'm asking it, how can I recommit back to GitHub? And it's in ask mode, so it's gonna start planning. So let's see. Steps to commit and push to GitHub. Check what files have changed. Yep. We got all that. So here's the cool thing. If you're running out of tokens and coins and everything, you could just ask it and then just follow the step-by-step guide on how to do it. So you could do it yourself essentially, but we don't want to do that. So we're going to go to agent and we are going to say, push this to GitHub, which I probably could have said from the beginning. I just wasn't sure. But now that I'm seeing it, it seems like that's pretty simple. So now it's committing and pushing because it has access to the terminal, so it's able to do this. And again, you could do this on your own also if you wanted. I mean, you could do everything on your own, but this just makes it super easy. So I'm loving this because now instead of publishing on Lovable and doing all those things, you could bring it locally, test on your local, environment, make any edits, changes that you want to do. You could go into the files, break things if you want, and it's not going to mess up a whole bunch of stuff. So this kind of adds an additional playground to everything that you're doing, which I really, 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 really love. This is going to push it to GitHub. Let's see. So it says commit summary, 31 files changed, 200 insertions, 571 deletions. Yo, this did so much stuff. The files were deleted. Push status. Let's see. All right. Everything was done. So let's go here now. Let's refresh this page. And we should see some commits right now, 3 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, now 3 hours ago. So this is showing all the stuff that was edited and worked on, which is great. Now, if we go back to Lovable, what we should see here is something down here that says, where is it? Rich text editor, refactor code base, and remove edit, active edit. So this should actually show and take the information from GitHub, but let's verify that. All right, it's cool. I didn't even have to do anything. It looks like everything was already synced from the GitHub platform to Lovable, because you could see that the email thing is no longer here, and I still have everything as it was on my local. So I could go back here when I get more coins, start editing stuff, push it to GitHub. I could go back here and say, get the latest from GitHub, and then put it here, start messing around with it. And here's the best part, and I'm wrapping up right now. So now I'm able to test this. I'm able to do debugging. I'm able to do a little more without burning through tokens all the time for silly bugs that just keep happening over and over again. I think I spent 10 or 15 tokens on the same issue. Apparently, I was trying to integrate notification API, and it straight out told me, oh, I can't do this. And I'm like, dude, like it literally says on notification API, like it's Lovable compatible. Like this is what you do. And it just kept telling me no, 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 no. And just going back and forth was burning tokens, and I was getting so mad. So Cursor, actually, the way their cost is, from what I understand at this point, and we're in November of 2025, is that it's much cheaper. I think it's about 4 or 5 cents per prompt versus 20 cents per prompt in Lovable. And that's kind of give or take depending on how much is being done. I could ask Lovable one question and then it just takes up 1 token, which is insane. I'm still on the free version here, and it just completely debugged my whole entire platform. I don't know. I haven't ran this out to see how much is left on the free version. But if I'm going to pay for something, I think it would be awesome to get, maybe a Lovable base and then bring it to Cursor to start editing it. That's one way. There's a lot of different ways that we can do this. This is a great way. And I know I'm kind of just scratching the surface. I haven't even dug into anything that Cursor can do. Apparently, this version you could run multiple agents. You could pick different different AIs that you can use, including Grok, Haiku, GPT. And there's just so much stuff that you can do. I could do different files. I can mess around with stuff, have different branches, and then sync it to GitHub. So it's just incredible what these things are doing. And to be budget conscious, I probably should not have used Lovable Cloud. I didn't realize that. So you could see on the previous video that I did, where I explained the hidden costs that just stack up. And if you're starting out, we don't know those things. So just figuring out what these costs are and then going from there and trying to, work things out, we're on this journey together. So thank you for joining me on this journey. If you like the video, like, comment, share it with your friends. I'm going to keep on doing videos like this. I talk about God, I talk about technology, and I talk about coffee from time to time, or I at least do it with coffee from time to time. So that's it, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Can't wait to see you again. Take care. God bless.